It began as a harmless joke. We were at a dinner party, the kind where small talk felt rehearsed and the wine tasted like it had sat open too long. Miriam, my wife of a decade, leaned toward me. Her scent of familiar comfort I'd always associated with home. "I have a secret," she whispered, a mischievous twinkle in her eye. I laughed, going along with the tease. "Let me guess. You finally confessed to stealing that last cookie?" She giggled, the sound once so comforting. But this time, something in her tone felt different. "No," she said. "Something bigger. Maybe I've got a secret admirer." She winked playfully. A strange chill crept up my spine. I smiled, but the unease lingered. In the weeks that followed, the teasing continued. A sly remark here, a coy smile there. She began avoiding direct answers when I asked about her day. Her phone, once left carelessly around, was now locked and always turned face down. She started staying late at work, despite rarely working past 6 before. The unease inside me solidified into a heavy knot. I kept telling myself I was overthinking. Miriam was charming, full of life, the kind of woman who naturally drew attention. But why would she joke about something like that unless it was grounded in reality? That single doubt took root and grew. One evening, she was in the shower when her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. My hands trembled as I picked it up. Locked. But then I remembered the shared iPad the kids used. Her Apple ID was still signed in. Within minutes, I retrieved her passcode. When the screen lit up and the messages appeared, my world collapsed. Text after text, photos, heartfelt declarations, explicit exchanges. It was all there. The secret admirer had a name, Alex, coworker, someone she'd mentioned offhandedly before. Their messages painted a vivid picture of betrayal, one I couldn't unsee. I sat on the edge of our bed, scrolling, heart pounding, breathing shallow. A life I never knew existed played out across that tiny screen. When the water stopped running and I heard her humming, something inside me cracked. I set her phone down, screen still locked, pretending I'd never touched it. The days after were a haze of quiet calculation. I needed proof. I started collecting screenshots, compiling messages, tracking lies. I even installed a keylogger on her laptop. More filth emerged. Weekend getaways planned behind my back. Talk of a future together. Their dream life built on the ashes of mine. I knew I had to confront them, but on my terms. From her messages, I learned where they'd first met for dinner. That's where I made the reservation. I invited Miriam under the pretense of a romantic anniversary celebration. Then I booked a second table, same restaurant, an hour later, in Alex's name. According to their texts, they planned to meet there that night. She dressed up for the occasion, radiating joy I knew wasn't for me. At the restaurant, I acted the part, smiling, listening, pretending to be enchanted. My stomach churned. Right on cue, Alex walked in. He scanned the room and spotted us. That arrogant smirk on his face told me he hadn't figured it out yet. I stood up slowly, my chair scraping sharply against the floor. Conversations around us died down. "Alex," I said calmly, "how nice of you to join us." His face changed. Confusion, then fear. Miriam froze, her complexion draining to ghostly white. I held her phone up, the screen lit with one of their flirtatious messages. "This seems to belong to you, doesn't it?" I said, my voice cutting through the silence. The whole restaurant fell into stunned quiet. Alex's mouth opened, but no sound came. Miriam stuttered, her lips trembling, tears gathering in her eyes. "I don't want your apologies," I said. "I want you both to understand what it feels like to be betrayed." I pulled out printed copies of their texts and dropped them on the table like a dealer throwing down a losing hand. The papers fluttered, some spilling onto the floor. A few nearby patrons peered over, whispering. Alex's smug confidence disappeared. His face turned gray. Miriam's tears came fast now, sobs shaking her frame. Turning to him, I said, "You knew she was married. You didn't care. You're not a man. You're a coward." I stepped closer, my words low and deliberate. "I hope your wife enjoys reading the rest." I tossed a second set of papers at him. More screenshots, more secrets. The scene that followed was chaos. Alex fumbled to collect the scattered pages, horror on his face. Miriam broke down completely, the weight of public shame too much to contain. Staff tried to intervene, but the damage had already been done. I walked out, calm, composed, and broken. Revenge didn't feel as good as I'd hoped. It was cold, empty. The pain still lingered. The weeks after were consumed by legal meetings. No screaming matches. No redemption arcs. Just paperwork, the slow unwinding of 10 years of love, or at least what I thought was love. I left our home. Every room carried memories I no longer wanted to revisit. Starting over was hard. Everything hurt, but I moved forward. Slowly, quietly. The hurt hasn't vanished. It still aches, especially in the quiet. But in those moments, I remind myself, I didn't let the betrayal destroy me. I uncovered the truth, faced it, and walked away with my self-respect intact. The scars are deep, but they're also proof I survived.